So welcome. And again, apologies, no Lola and Guinness today. So if you turned up just to join yoga with Lola and Guinness, I'm afraid you're going to be disappointed. It's just me today. Oh, and Steve. You don't need to do that, you're in camera. Okay, so if you just want to begin by getting yourself into a comfortable position, and either casting your gaze down or closing your eyes, whatever's the most comfortable for you. And just taking your attention to begin to the parts of the body that make contact with the floor. Just noticing those parts that have any contact with the floor. So if you're sitting cross-legged, it doesn't necessarily just have to be the bottom. You could take your attention to the sides of your feet. Take your attention to a very specific part, very small part, but just connecting yourself to the place that, pardon me, you are now. Almost as if you are able to draw an imprint of yourself, marking your edges. You're now moving your awareness to the crown of the head and just taking your awareness around your body, just to notice how it feels today. Notice, but no judgment. So how is your head, your neck, your shoulders? Just placing your awareness for a brief moment just to see how they feel. Right arm, left arm, your hands, chest, torso, your back, pelvis, right hip and the right leg, the right foot, and the left hip, left leg, and the left foot. How are they feeling? Are there any parts that are speaking a little louder today? And if there are, maybe just send a little bit of extra awareness to them. Just to say you've noticed, you're aware. But also noticing those quiet parts, the parts that you almost don't know exist. They just are there. And just, again, maybe sending them a bit of extra awareness. And in doing so, you just become slightly more connected to the whole of your physical body. And now taking your awareness from your physical body to your breath. And again, just first beginning in that observational position, as if you can sit next to your breath and just see how it flows today. It's a bit like a friend that is always there, but you don't always pay a lot of attention to. And so sometimes it feels nice just to say hi, let it know that you do know it, you do see it, you do feel it. And now the invitation, if you feel like it's the right thing to do, is to just even out the flow of breath. So for example, if you're inhaling for 4, breathe out for 4. And just try and smooth out the pauses, any little lumps and bumps in the breath, so that it becomes one flow. And a gentle flow. But you choose the length of the breath that suits you, so you might take a longer breath. And just enjoying that moment of connection and stillness and quietness. And on your next inhalation, taking a deep breath in, holding it in at the top, holding it in, and when you're ready to let go, exhaling with a big sigh. And now just taking any movement that you need to take just from sitting still for a while. You might have a little bit of movement that you need to encourage. And we'll just move into our cat-cow position. So just in your cat-cow, just beginning to make the movement that we're familiar with, so the arching, flattening, and stretching out. But just begin in a way that's kind and considerate. So don't try and move into your full extension until your body feels ready to. And as you do the movement, maybe just bringing your awareness to the spine, just noticing how the spine moves. And you can take pauses at any point in the movement. If there's a part of the movement that feels like it might be a nice place to pause and stretch into, then by all means do that. And as always, begin to develop the move. Imagine it as a warm-up and begin to tune into any other movements that your body might like to take at this point. And it doesn't have to be within the cat-cow position. You can completely change position if you feel like something else needs to stretch. Just tuning into a bit of intuitive movement for your body. Or you can just stick with your cat-cow. If that feels like it's the right movement for you. Obviously, if you want to go into a fully fledged aerobic warm-up, you can do that. Just tune into whatever you need to do. And eventually you'll find yourself coming into a forward fold at the top end of the mat. So just making your way there, but there's no rush. Continue just to explore, allow your body to guide you into that position. So it's just an indicator of the direction we're moving as opposed to an instruction to get there. So neat. So just hanging out in that forward fold, nice and relaxed. nice and soft, stretching into the parts that perhaps require a bit more attention. So, oh, the backs of my legs are a little bit sore today. And maybe just at this point you can use your hands just to begin to trace up your legs. Up your legs, coming round your back. And then round the front and down the front. So round your toes, up the back of your legs, over your bottom, up your back for as far as you can reach, bringing them round the front to the chest, down the belly and down the fronts of the legs. Just tracing. Oh. And then coming to rest when you're ready in that forward fold. And then just begin that slow, steady journey up. Using your legs to push you up into your mountain. I'll just take a few stretches in mountain, so lifting our arms up. Take a big breath in, hold it at the top, and then release it down. And then just do a few more like that. So breathing in. And breathing in. You're going to be a YouTube star today, Steve.
Scary.
And on
Can you edit me out?
on the final exhale, bring your arms up, and then just taking your body over to one side into that sort of C-shaped curve, and then up to the middle, and back down to the other side. So inhaling is to the center, exhaling is into the side. Just taking a few to each side in line with your breath. I've chosen to stand directly under the lowest point in the ceiling, which wasn't very clever. And then coming to the center, reaching up, reaching up, reaching out, bringing your arms into like a, rather than a V, rather than being straight up into a V, just keep reaching up, as if you can make yourself bigger, 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 bigger. And then bringing your arms down. And then you need to shake out your shoulders and your arms, and do. So we're just going to take our arms up to the side now. And we're just going to hold them here because we can. So if it feels comfortable for you, maybe close your eyes and just tune into that breath again. Just reaching your arms out. You might start to feel a bit tired. They might already be tired. And I just would like you to try and use your breath to hold your arms. Try and think about relaxing your shoulders as you're holding your arms. Try not to clench up in your neck. Make sure your neck's able to move freely. Oh, my arms hurt now. Anyone else's arms hurt? Just a few more seconds. Few more. Now, just taking them up. Oh, reaching up. Breathing in. And then big sigh, relax them down. Oh, oh God. Was that nice? Oh, and you may need to just shake your shoulders a little bit here. Oh dear. Well, I could say we could do that again, but I don't think we will. Okay, so now we'll just come to the front of your mat. And we're just going to do a couple of sun salutations just to get the whole body moving. You'll be pleased to know. So, beginning, going to take our arms up again. Taking our arms up, breathing in. And then just exhaling down into your forward fold. Inhaling to that halfway flat back position. Reaching your chest forward and down. Putting your both hands onto the mat. Stepping your right foot back. And then your left foot. And why not? Let's hold in a little while, for a little bit in plank. Not long. And if you need to lower yourself, then do. And then just coming down to your knees or lowering yourself straight onto your belly. And then lifting up into that baby cobra. And down. Curling your toes under. Lifting up and back into your downward facing dog. Just dropping into that. Oh, using it as an opportunity to stretch a little bit. It feels good. Then taking your right leg up. Maybe just exploring a little bit with your right leg. And then bring it through to your chest and step your right leg through. And coming into not warrior 2, we're going to come into warrior 1. So both legs facing forwards into that lunge position, taking our arms straight up overhead. And then now we will extend into warrior 2. So turning your left back foot to the side and bringing your arms straight out. Your arms should feel lovely in this position now. And then just coming down, reaching over. Sorry about my back to the camera. I need to get a bit better at my angles. Coming back up to warrior 2 and reaching back over. And then if you want to, coming into your side angle, so reaching down to the floor, arm up. Coming down, so bringing your left hand And you can, if you walk your right foot out slightly, turn your back toes back in. So both hands are on the inside of your foot, if that makes sense. Drop your knee down. Bring your foot to the middle. Stretch out that front leg by dropping back. Rolling forward. Coming back to that lunge. Coming back into your warrior one. Rolling back down. Stepping back, your right leg back to join your left. Coming down onto your belly. Cobra. Back down. Lifting up. Walking forwards to come into your forward fold. Stretching out in that forward fold, just let it hang. And then beginning that journey back to mountain. And try when you get to mountain not to adjust any tops or hair. Just come to stillness. And focusing on the echoes that remain of the practice that you've just done. Oh. Now maybe take a moment, shake it out, adjust your tops. Come on, bit more of a shake, bit more, that's it. Oh. Right, and now we'll do the other leg. So, arms up and overhead, breathing in, and now coming down to your forward fold. Lifting up with your hands on your shins or knees or thighs to that flat back, whatever's comfortable. Dropping down. This time taking your left foot back first and then your right. And we'll just hang out in plank. And then when you're ready, just lowering down all the way to the floor. And this time, if you want to come up a little bit higher in Cobra, you can. And down. And now curling your toes under, lifting back up into downward facing dog. This time exploring your three-legged dog with your left leg in the air. Just seeing what it's like to have three legs, not, we don't have four legs anyway. Okay, and then bringing your knee to your chest and stepping through with your left. Remember, we're not going into our warrior two straight away, so keeping your toes parallel, coming up into that high lunge, and then taking our arms up and overhead. Warrior one. And turning your right toes to face the front of the mat and coming down into warrior two. Now lowering gently onto the front leg and reaching across. And then coming back to your warrior two. And back up and over. to 2. And then if you want to, you can go back to your arm and your thigh, or you can reach down to the floor, stretching up. And now, as we did before, bring your right hand to join your left so that they're both on the same inside of the foot rather than surrounding. And just stretching into that position. Dropping your right back knee down, taking your hands to both sides of the feet, and just stretching back into that hamstring. Keeping your chest up if you can. If you've got tight hamstrings like me, it's just impossible, but rolling forward, curling your back toes under, coming back up into your warrior 1. If you want to, just make sure you drop down into that back leg so you've got a nice lunge. And then bringing your arms down to the mat, stepping your left leg back to join your right, and lowering yourself down to the mat. Cobra. Back down. Up onto your toes. And then just begin that walk forward to your forward fold. And begin that journey back up to mountain. And again, try not to make any adjustments. Just feeling how good it feels to have created that energy moving around your body. You might be able to feel it all the way from the tips of your toes to the very crown of your head, just by taking your awareness around. And now just shake it off. Shake it off in the words of Taylor Swift. Take your legs out wide and come into your wide-legged forward fold. And then you might want to heel toe in a little bit and drop down into your squat. You might want to shift your weight a little bit in that squat, just loosening your hips a little bit. And then, in an elegant way as you can, just dropping back down onto your bottom. And coming to, we haven't done this one, I don't think. Let's give ourselves a little treat today. So coming to a knees up position. And there's different stages to this, so you can just lower yourself back and hold. That's the sort of stage 1. And if that's fine for you, then stay like that. Stage 2 is to lift your legs and hold. And stage 3 is to straighten and hold. So take the level that's the most comfortable. I was going to say comfortable, but it's not a comfortable position. So, well, I guess it might be for some, but just take the one that's challenging enough for you. I'm shaking. And then hug your knees in. That's very kind of me. We didn't do a lot there, did we? And then make your way down to your back. So you might want to just roll on, or you can just move down gradually onto your back. But it's quite nice to do some rolls. It's the morning. We're full of energy. And come down to lay on your back. And then take a few movements here to do whatever you need to do. So if you need to windshield wiper, as they say, your legs to each side, just to loosen off your back, you can. If you want to do a happy baby, just to loosen off the hips. Again, just do a bit of movement that suits your body. You might just want to have a tantrum and shake everything off. But eventually coming to a place of laying on the ground. Ready to chill. Ready to relax. So again, just coming to that attention of imagining your imprint on the ground, that connection between your body and the ground. I can't think of a better analogy. It's not particularly not a particularly kind of nice one, but you know when they draw white lines around the outside of bodies that you see in films. Imagine that you're able to do that you're really, really aware of your body shape. I'm sure there's probably a far more spiritual way of saying that than imagine you're drawing a line around your corpse, but hey. And now just bringing your attention to the crown of the head, and we'll begin a placing of awareness. And as we all know, the most important part of this practice is the placing of the awareness, nothing else. So starting at the crown of the head, moving to the back of the brain, the right hand side of the brain, the front of the brain, the left hand side of the brain, and the middle of the brain, and the back of the brain. And back to the crown of the head. And the middle of the forehead. The right temple. The right cheek. The chin. The left cheek. The left temple. The middle of the forehead. The right eye. The right nostril. The top lip. The bottom lip. the chin, bottom lip, and the top lip, the left nostril, the left eye, and the middle of the forehead. Just becoming aware of the whole of the head as it rests on the ground. Now moving down to the throat and the right hand side of the neck, the back of the neck, the left hand side of the neck, and back to the throat and the front of the neck. And now moving down to the top of the chest, the right shoulder, the top of the right arm, the right elbow, bottom of the right arm, the right wrist, the right hand, the thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and the little finger. Moving back through the right wrist, the bottom of the right arm, the right elbow, the top of the right arm, the right armpit, the right shoulder. Moving across the top of the chest to the left shoulder, the top of the left arm, the left elbow, bottom of the left arm, the left wrist, the left hand, thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and the little finger. The left wrist, the bottom of the left arm, the left elbow, the top of the left arm, the left armpit, the left shoulder. Coming back through the centre of the chest and coming to pause for a second in the centre of the chest. And now moving down through the torso and the ribs, through the navel, and to the pelvis. And just for a second, floating your awareness in that space, in that area. A grounded connection to the earth. Then to the pelvic floor and across to the right hip, the top of the right leg, the right knee, the bottom of the right leg, the right ankle, the right foot, the big toe, second, third, fourth, and the little toe. Back through the right ankle, the bottom of the right leg, right knee, the right thigh, the right hip, across through the pelvis and the pelvic floor to the left hip, the top of the left leg, the left knee, the bottom of the left leg, the left ankle, the left foot, the big toe, second toe, third, fourth, and the little toe. Back through the left ankle, the left bottom of the left leg, the left knee, the top of the left leg, the left hip, the pelvis, the navel, the ribs, and coming to rest in the centre of the chest, in the heart centre. I'm just going to share a poem, a little poem about winter morning by James Cruise. When I can no longer say thank you for this new day and the waking into it, for the cold scrape of the kitchen chair and the ticking of the space heater glowing orange as it warms the floor near my feet, I know it's because I've been fooled again by the selfish, unruly man who lives in me and believes he deserves only safety and comfort. But if I pause as I do now and watch the streetlights outside flashing off one by one, like old men blinking their cloudy eyes, if I listen to my tired neighbours slamming car doors hard against the morning and see the steaming coffee in their mugs, kissing chapped lips as they sip and exhale each of their worries white into the icy air around their faces, then I can remember this one life is a gift each of us was handed and told to open. Untie the bow and tear off the paper. Look inside and be grateful for whatever you find, even if it is only the scent of a tangerine that lingers on the fingers long after you finish peeling it. And so now becoming aware of your body as it rests on the ground, coming back to the room that you're in and the space that you're occupying, becoming aware of where you are right now Begin to make movements with your hands and your feet, maybe turning your head from side to side, maybe taking a big stretch as if it's the first time you've woken up all day. And when you're ready, bring yourself up to sitting and come back and join me. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you all again soon.